The Republic of Serbia sits at the crossroads of Old and New Europe, straddling the center of war-ravaged Balkans region. I'm James Panic, and today I'll tell you about the Republic of Serbia from a 21st century tourist perspective. I've been studying the Balkans for over 2 decades. Since in the last 20 years I've become friends with over a dozen individuals who have immigrated here from the former Yugoslav Republic. First, I'll tell you a little bit about the history of Serbia and the Balkans. Second, I'll discuss the climate for tourists in Serbia. And finally, we'll discuss the outlook for Serbia in the 21st century. The history of Serbia is intertwined with its Balkans neighbors. The beginning of Serbia can be traced to the migration of the northern Slavic people into the Balkan regions during the Middle Ages, when the Balkans were ruled by the Ottoman Empire. Over the last millennia, the Serb people have undergone an almost constant struggle for self-determination. For the first several hundred years of their existence, the Serbs were lorded over by the Byzantine and Ottoman empires, treated as serfs and, in many cases, even slaves. During the 1500s, the Habsburg dynasty took over the Balkans, and with further heavy-handed control of the Serbians ensued. During the 1600s, many of the priests and educated Serbs fled Serbia after being persecuted by the Habsburg dynasty. In 1804, and for 11 years after, the Serbs fought their independence, finally achieving this in 1835. According to Serbia, Columbia Electronic Encyclopedia, 6th edition, the Balkans War, where Serbia and its neighbors fought the Ottoman Empire directly, preceded the First World War. During the Balkan War, Serbia expanded its territory by 80% and its population by 50%. Famously, Gavrilo Princip, a Bosnian Serb, assassinated the Archduke Ferdinand in Sarajevo, touching off World War I. After World War I, Serbia was combined with Croatia, Bosnia, Macedonia, and Slovenia to form the First Republic of Yugoslavia. The Germans conquered Serbia during the Second World War, leading to the formation of the Second Yugoslav Republic shortly after the war. Until the 1990s, Yugoslavia was one of the more stable countries in the non-aligned movement. But with the fall of communism in the 1990s, the Yugoslav Republic split up and fell into harsh war between the neighboring states. Since the end of the Balkan Wars, Serbia has seen a peaceful 15 years, its focus being on economic development. All the people I have met from the former Yugoslavia, though from different corners of the region with different religions, and all friends, get along very well. Though their former countries were once at war not long ago, their cultures, traditions, and foods are very similar. Serbian culture and food represent the geography of Serbia as the crossroads of southeastern Europe. The food of Serbia is a mix of Central European, Mediterranean, and Middle Eastern cuisine, emphasizing fresh vegetables and grains, stewed meats, and nut-encrusted desserts such as Serbian baklava. The 2 most representative dishes in the Serbian cuisine are sarma, or stuffed cabbage rolls, and podvarak, which is a roast beef covered in finely chopped sauerkraut and vegetables. Serbians are some of the largest per capita beer consumers in the world, favoring pale lagers, but they balance their love of beer with their sobering love of coffee. Every morning when I visit one of my schools, I can see the Serbian ladies ritually preparing their coffee and cream mixture, which is incredibly rich, much like Turkish coffee. The Serbs are fond of mixing cuisine with music. The Serbian nation is famous for its variety of regional folk music, which has a long and storied tradition, much like the bluegrass music of the Appalachian United States. A more recent development is the Serbian love of American music. Milan Milosevic in Belgrade Jazz Festival, October 21, New Sound International Magazine for Music number 39 says, the city of Belgrade holds a 3-day jazz festival and concert every October, as it has done for 30 years. Getting to know many former residents of Serbia and the Balkans has given me some insight into the prospects for a peaceful and even uplifting future for the region. Serbia and its neighbors have done a good job since the end of the Yugoslav wars in the 1990s to form close ties and be good neighbors, healing old wounds and building a future together. Though there have been disagreements, most notably over the future of Kosovo, the armed conflicts seem to be a thing of the past. Serbians share a common language with all their neighbors, which makes it convenient to share ideas and feel as if they have a commonality. Having watched and spoken to several Serbians who have as close friends in the United States people from former warring neighbors such as Bosnia and Croatia, I feel like there's reason to hope for an extended period of peace and prosperity for the region. Now I'll conclude my remarks by summarizing what you've learned today. First, I told you some of the history of Serbia. Then I discussed the culture of Serbia And finally, I told you my thoughts about the prospects of Serbia's future. Serbia has a lot to offer both visitors who can enjoy its rich heritage and its neighbors who stand to benefit from a strong economic position. Thank you for listening today.